Winterfest, 1998. This is a pretty brisk Valentine's Day, but here we are nevertheless, and all the dogs are yipping, you can hear them, anxious to do the main run. It's lots of fun, a lot of things going on out here in Mound Bay Park, and this annual event has become quite an event. A lot of people look forward to it because there's mushers here from all over Canada and northern Minnesota. I've even seen license plates on some of the musher trucks from Iowa. So anyway, at any event, we are anxious to show you some of the goings-on today. I'm Kathleen Marie, and I'm going to be covering this event for you today. We have Brian Schultz here, and he's the bigwig of the event today. Hi, Brian.
How you doing today?
Well, it's a little nippy today, but I guess it's great for the dogs. How do you think things are going?
Things are going real well. Yeah, the wind has kicked up, but fortunately the temperatures have been not so warm. We have to be concerned about if it gets too warm, the dogs will overheat, and I think they're happy that it is a little bit cooler today, so they can run the dogs and run them all out, and we can run them on the long course.
Well, I talked to one of the mushers, and he said that the course is marked real well. Did you guys go out there this morning?
We actually started working on it on Wednesday and worked on it all day Thursday and all day yesterday. So it was work because it's the conditions of the snow on the lake is almost like concrete. So it took a lot of work to bust the snow up and get it going.
Right, and right on the outside of the trail itself, is it pretty icy?
Not on the outside. It's the some parts of the trail is icy, and it's been difficult marking it. But we've either had to plow snow into the area and get it so we've got the dogs at least can run on some snow.
Mm-hmm. And all these Christmas trees or whatever, where'd you pick those up?
Those came from the Ace Hardware in Spring Park. They were nice enough to donate us the leftovers, and they do a real good job of marking the track, both for the snowmobilers that are out there monitoring the track and also the racers.
Mm-hmm. Right. So then a little bit later, the 6-dog race, and then tomorrow all of those events again.
Well, we'll have the 6-dog, and then we also have 10-dog. We were real concerned whether or not the 10-dog racers were going to race today, because we do have a shortened track. We've got 6 miles out there. They usually like 10 miles to run on, and we were concerned that they weren't going to run, but they're going to be running later on in the day, and those are the ones that are that's real exciting to watch. You get 10 dogs. That's a lot of power. It takes a lot of people to hold them back at the start-finish line, and those are the premier races, and those will be going on mid-afternoon.
Well, it seems like the event is going real well. It's, like I said, a little low-key right now, but we're going to head out to the softball game.
Softball going on out the ice.
Are you going to take in on that event?
If I get a chance to go over there, as things are settling down now, I'll go over and see how things are doing, but as I can hear right now, they're having a good time over there.
As well as everyone. Okay, thanks a lot, Brian. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Nice hit. And he's going for it. And he missed it. And the action mounts. There's only a 2-baser there. You have to really love softball to be out here playing in the winter on the middle of the lake. Snow is about 6 inches deep. There are really no baselines. There are road markers for the bases. However, you don't have to worry about getting any raspberries if you slide and fall into base. It's the frostbite on your nose that might get you first. And there's the 3rd run to tie this particular inning.
Run by. All the guys. Go. Go, Dan. What happened to anybody?
Is that where they locked up?
I might have got DQ. It's like a recovery drink for after they race to replace. It's almost like it's for runners, like human runners. It's almost like a replacement drink to help them get energized. So
Was it warm or did it look like it was? Was it warm?
No, it's cool. It's just the coloring of it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Put Best in front. Besta, Rocky, and then one of the two boys.
Oh yeah. You know what that is?
Yeah, I did.
How many dogs do you own?
We have a kennel of 16 now at home, and we've just purchased another leader for our 6-dog team. So we're
This
kind
is
of
more than a hobby for you.
definitely yes. It's become sort of a passion for both of us. We really love the dogs. I teach school back home, so and my wife works with community and social services back in Canada. So
And
we
where
have
in
full-time
Canada?
jobs. We're from Thunder Bay, Ontario. Actually, we live about 20 minutes or so, Kekabeka Falls. I don't know if you're familiar with that area. And so we're about 20 minutes away. We have 62 acres, and we have 16 dogs right now, and we're going to add this one leader that I just purchased at the end of the season, and hopefully we'll get him into the team for next year.
So how many runs now have you done this year? And
Well, this is our 4th race. We went to Iron River and Detroit Lakes, and then Bemidji, and then we were off for about 3 weeks. Work commitments. My wife does some traveling with her work, and with me teaching, I try to just sort of pick and choose the races.
Sure.
So we took some time off, and so this is our 4th race now this season.
and then
So,
how many more this season will you
we're
have?
going to Garrison next weekend and finishing off in Babbitt. So we've got 2 more races after this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, say Garrison, for an example, would there be a lot more competition there, or just about the same amount of other?
What I'm finding is I raced back from 1980 to 1984, and I got out of it back in '84. Now all I ran was a 3-dog team, and now getting back, I guess, the last 4 years, I started off with some recreational running, and back in Thunder Bay I was running some Siberians, and then the passion came back to get back into doing some racing, out of the country and come down here where I know, probably the best mushers I've ever seen are around in this area. So
This area meaning Minnesota?
Minnesota, yeah. We've the people that I met back in the 80s, a lot of them are still racing. But one thing I noticed from the early 80s to now is it's gotten a lot more competitive. Everybody's a lot faster, and races are won, in sprint races by seconds.
Have the sleds changed?
Yes, the designs and things with sleds have changed quite a bit. I think they're lighter, faster. With the quick change runners just came into effect, I guess, just when I was getting out, about 1984, 85. So a lot of people now have those on, and I think people pay more attention to equipment, and because having the right sled, having the right plastic on, or the right day can sometimes mean the difference between first place or third place, or whatever you're shooting for.
Okay. Plastic meaning in the harnesses?
No, plastic on the bottom of the sleds, and the harnesses, you just want to make sure your harnesses are harnesses that fit the dog properly, and that they're going to benefit from the wearing that harness, and that it's not going to be something that's going to be moving around too much on them. It has to be a good snug fit, but not an uncomfortably tight fit or too loose.
So now, how do you feel you did in your first race today?
Well, this is my 4-dog team is much better than my 6-dog team, so I always have higher hopes, and I kind of firmed up by putting in a dog that I expected to run a little bit better. But one of my leaders went off the trail, and when he went off the trail, the rest followed suit, and we stayed basically in the same direction. But then they veered off to the left, and I was on sheer ice. So I had no way to stop, and I ended up on the seat of my pants, which is kind of embarrassing, but there was nobody out there to watch me, so that was okay. But I got them back in the right direction, and I ran parallel to where the trail is. And got back on the trail down at the end point. So I don't know if that's a legal venture or not. I guess I'll find out at one point.
Seems like you still came in pretty close to where you were in line, though, didn't you? Or just like...
Well, I didn't. The time I lost probably was we went probably maybe 50 to 100 feet off the trail in the opposite direction, and then I got them back on running parallel to the trail. So then when I got to that one point, one of the trail handlers got my dogs and stopped them from going across and got them back on the trail, and then I continued in from there.
Did you find the trail hard to follow out there?
No, actually, the trail is marked really, really well. It was just one of my leaders took one step. It's marked off with trees on both sides. One of my leaders stepped off to the right, and they all followed suit, and the next thing you know, I was going over an embankment, and I hit sheer ice, and then they veered off to the left. So,
okay.
yeah, it was a less than perfect run, but those are things that you have to expect. Sometimes you go out, you know, and you have a perfectly clean run. And the 3 other races I've been to this year, I haven't had a single problem as far as making passes or following the trail. Today was the first time, but that happens sometimes. It's part of racing, and you have to live with it and hope that the next day's going to be better.
Now, tomorrow you'll race the 6, or will you race the 6 today
I'll
as
be
well?
racing the 6 later on today.
So then tomorrow you'll go again, the 4 and the 6 again?
You go out tomorrow. Today I went out 4th. Tomorrow I'll go out where I placed today. So, granted, I haven't been disqualified for having gone off the trail, and I don't know. I'll just have to wait and find out.
Okay.
So,
and then it's the best of the 2 days' time?
That's right. Combined time. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're a real veteran as far as
actually, he's only he just turned 3 years old. His brother was running a knee.
Really?
Today, so he did a. I'm hoping to move this dog up into lead, so we'll just wait and see what happens. He definitely physically is a very capable dog. He's very, very fast and very strong and good for a 4-dog event. He's the type of dog that I would say you would look for because he has a long extension in his stride and just a really hard-working dog, hard-driving dog.
Well, as little as I know about it, it seems like at least he doesn't get all worn out before the race starts.
Right, he seems not to be one to jump up and down in the chute as you see some of the other dogs do. Some mushers try to encourage that. Myself, I prefer dogs to be a little more lively in the chute. I would like him to be a little more lively, but he's new to me. I just, purchased him last fall, I guess it was, and I think it's just a matter of adjusting to us, and he's relatively new to racing, and so it's probably going to take a while for him, and he may never change. He may always remain that way, but we try to pump him up, get him a little excited.
So how long has he been in training then?
I guess I purchased him from a fellow named Don Beland in Ely, who's a well-known racer, and basically is, I guess, retired now, and he did some racing with him, but nothing really serious. So you could pretty well say this is his first year of serious racing. Whereas for Ghost, who's just a 2-year-old dog, my leader, he won a race last year with another musher here named Paul Riegert, from Ely, Minnesota as well. So, even being a young dog, he has more experience than a dog that's a year older. So, and that sometimes happens. It's just some dogs are ready sooner than others.
Well, good luck. It's been really fun talking with you, and we'll keep an eye on you later today.
Thanks very much.
These are Alaskan Huskies.
They're Alaskan Huskies.
This is kind of a mix. There is no
Okay.
purebred Alaskan.
There isn't any. Okay. All right.
This one and another one here. This one is pure Siberian. It's part Siberian, part Mountain. They're a little too big for sprint racing.
Oh, okay.
Don't have quite the speed.
You mean they like more for long-term, long races?
Yeah, mid-distance races.
Main thing with Alaskan Huskies is they've got quite a bit longer legs compared to like the real northern breeds like the Siberians and stuff.
Okay.
Speed-wise, they make up for it. The coat's quite a bit different. A lot of the Alaskan Huskies have anywhere from Saluki Hound in them to Greyhound. There's really no purebred, but speed-wise, they're probably some of the fastest dogs around.
Have you been racing for a number of years now?
About 4 years.
4 years? And in the last 4 years, are you finding the weather to be a problem in times like this, especially like it's warm today for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little warm, yeah, a little bit. It's not too bad.
That doesn't affect the dogs?
This is good weather. No, this is great weather for them. They actually love it about 10, 15 below is their temperature.
You have to really love winter to be in this sport, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And you're here from where?
Zumbrota, Minnesota, down by Rochester.
Okay. And is that where you have like a kennel set up and what do you call it, a ranch, or what do you call that where you keep and train all your dogs?
Dog yard. We just got a dog yard. It's a big fenced-in area, and each dog is on separate chains.
So you need to keep them chained all the time?
Yeah.
Is it true that they don't know the command stop?
Some do, some don't. Mine don't. Some dogs you can teach to say stop and they'll stop. Mine just keep going. If I fall off the sled, they're just going to keep running.
So that's why you need to keep them chained all of the time, because they have this need to go all the time.
Well, that plus with being confined on a chain, when they do get off that chain, they're really going to want to run. Plus the price of chain compared to putting up 13 kennels is quite a bit different.
Sure.
So we used to kennel 3 dogs in one kennel, and the kennel usually runs probably $100-200 for a full-size kennel.
Wow.
But you can pick up chains fairly reasonable.
So you've run in how many races so far this year?
2 this year.
And how many more will you have after today?
Hopefully 2 more after today.
Where is your next race at?
Hopefully Garrison.
Okay, yeah, we talked to some of the other mushers that are heading up in that direction too.
There's one up in Garrison, and I think the weekend after that's in Babbitt, I think. Yeah.
All right. Well, so now when you have this many dogs, and how many did you say you have?
We've got 9 right now. We used to have 13.
Do you have one as more of a pet than the other?
Yeah, I've got 2 in there that are pets. They were kind of my starter dogs, and yeah, they're just kind of considered pets now. They're too slow for these guys.
Do you have to keep them chained?
Yeah, yeah. They come in the house too.
I think 2 years ago, one broke the chain or got loose, and it was a couple days, wasn't it?
11 miles north of here, they finally found it.
Yeah. So I can understand the need for, and they're basically, I mean, they're expensive dogs too, when it comes down to all the time you put into them.
Oh yeah. Yep.
All right.
Very expensive dogs. You can go anywhere from spending $400 or $500 all the way up to $10,000 for a couple dogs.
Now, is this more of the Siberian Husky?
She's a purebred Siberian.
Oh yeah. She's very pretty. And she's one of your pets?
Yep. She actually got us started into it. Started just ski juring with her first, and just kind of kept going from there.
Were you in the ski juring you've done today?
No, just a 6-dog novice right now.
All right. So at home, are they pretty quiet, or do they make a lot of racket?
Usually they're pretty quiet, but the only problem we usually have is anytime we have an ambulance or a cop car drive by our house, then they start howling with the sirens.
Well, good luck with the race, and we'll be around here.
Thanks.
Okay.